Hey there folks, and welcome back for another shaving video. And today we're going to use the Shaving Shop Success, and this is a Creed Aventus type scent. It's really nice. About I'd say a 6 on the scent scale. This is made by Katie's Bubbles. Excellent soap, and I haven't used it for a while, so we shall use it. We're going to use our Rudy Vay TSE brush, which I love, and we'll get to loading here. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. It is Saturday today, and we're continuing on with our holiday through the weekend and shopping and all the rest of it. I hope everybody's doing well on all of those fronts. And today I'm going to do a giveaway towards the end, or maybe the middle. Stay tuned for that. But wanted to share a couple of stories with you that I think sometimes, as I get older, there's sort of a barrier between the things that I say and younger folks. And I think this is natural. It always happens. People have a hard time relating to older people. But what I want to share with you today is a couple of stories in my own life where there was a crossroads situation where I had to make a choice between myself and others. And I didn't always make the right choice. And I'll share that with you because it's important. In life, you always come to these crossroads where you make either a selfless decision or you make the decision to look out for your own. And sometimes you will regret those decisions. Anyway, in 1994, got a great load. Before I get started here, let's wet the face and you shall get going. Stay tuned. All right, and here we go. Anyway, in 1994, I was deployed to Guantanamo Bay in support of Operation Sea Signal, and that operation was to provide support for, there had been about 30 or 40,000 Haitian and Cuban migrants that were rafting en masse from Haiti and Cuba to the United States because a war had broke out in Haiti. And so anyway, I got deployed there to provide support and take care of these migrants. And in our off time, a buddy and I, after a midnight shift one day, decided to go snorkeling in the bay. And there's a dock there. In fact, here's a pic of 3 of us. On the trip that I'm referencing, there was only 2, but in this pic, there's 3 of us. Here's 3 of us on the dock there. All right, anyway, you can see there's 3 of us on the dock there just having a big time getting ready to go snorkeling. This particular day, my friend and I went alone, and we snorkeled down, I don't know, 150 yards, maybe 200, I can't recall exactly. And all of a sudden, I started seeing a bunch of water just thrashing around violently. And it was my buddy who was ahead of me, Alan. And so I swim up to him. I could see his face mask, going down to the bottom of the bay. And it was about 20 feet deep or so. And my buddy had just been stung by either a man-o-war or a jellyfish right in the face. And he evidently started going into shock because his face started swelling. He began looking like an alien almost immediately. He started cramping up. He could not swim back. So I grabbed him and swam him the 150 or 200 yards back to the dock because he was unable to do it himself. And I didn't think anything of it at the time. Neither of us did, to tell you the truth. Anyway, he was fine. He got medicine and a shot and all that, and it turned out to be fine. Some years later, I lost contact with him. Once I got out of the service, but later he found me again on Facebook. And when he did, I asked him, I said, "Hey, you remember that time you got stung in the face in the bay?" And he said, "Do I remember?" He said, "You saved my life that day, pal. I wouldn't have made it back had it not been for you." And I had never thought about that in any serious way because to me, it's just something you do. You help your brother. And then last week or the week before when Veterans Day rolled around, he had mentioned it again. "Thank you. I wouldn't be here if not for you." And it really made me proud that when faced with a situation like that, I made the right choice. I just didn't haul my hind end and say, heck with you, buddy. I did what was right. And later, it made me very proud. And neither one of us at the time thought much of it. It was just routine. But later, it made me really, really proud. And next, I'll share a story where I didn't make the right call. Stay tuned. So there was an example in life where I made a decision that made me very proud. And I'm very, very proud of that. And each time I talk to Alan, I'm super happy about that. But there's another situation where I had a good friend that I grew up with. And I went in the service, and he had been in the service and was already out. Anyway, he was also friendly with my ex-wife's family and her sister in particular. And I don't know the details of what occurred, but in some form or fashion, there was a falling out between him and my ex-sister-in-law and my ex-mother-in-law and their family. And, my ex-mother-in-law at the time made a big deal of it. I don't even know what occurred. No one ever really said what occurred. They just said, he had done wrong by them, so on and so forth. So, at that point, again, I was at a crossroads. Do I abandon my brother there for my own sake in order to support my family? Or do I do the difficult thing and try to sort through it all and maybe take the hit if he was right? And I regret very much to say I left my brother out there hanging. And I just sided with my ex-in-laws because they were my ex-in-laws. It was more important to me to support my family, which I thought was the right thing at the time. But I'm here to tell you, I very much regret that decision. I came to that crossroads and I made the decision that I thought was right for me. I didn't consider what would happen to my buddy, who I'd been friends with basically my whole life. I never even thought of it. And I made a very selfish decision. Now later, that marriage crumbled on its own. Not assessing blame or fault, but it crumbled. And so he caught up with me again, and we talked, and I told him I regretted very much doing that. And we contacted each other a few times, and we actually met and talked. And then out of the blue, one day he just disappeared. And I kept trying to get in touch with him. Couldn't reach him. Stand by just for a moment and I'll finish the story. So eventually I got hold of him, and he sends me a note, and he says, look, I just wanted to prove to you that I was a person of substance, right? We were friends, and I wanted to bring you a little bit in my life to show you that I was a decent person. And I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly what he told me, but basically, he brought me in only to show me what I had lost, right? Which seems a bit self-serving on his part, but I can't say that I blame him. Why? Because when I had the opportunity to make a tough decision and dig a little deeper and maybe find out what went on, and to this day I don't know who to blame or even what happened, I just chose my in-laws. I didn't even flinch. I'd made the selfish decision. Now, a lot of people, would say, hey, if you're standing up for your family, that's the most important thing always. But what about truth? What about honor? What about all the rest of it? And I do believe standing up for your family is the right thing. I thought it was the right thing at the time anyway. As it turned out, that relationship, the family relationship, was built on a house of cards from the get-go. And so, when there was a time for me to stand up for my friend and be a person of honor, I didn't. And I'm going to tell you all, I regret it. It is, one of a handful of regrets I have in my life, because I'm not proud of that. And I try my best to never repeat that sort of thing, to give, everyone a chance if I can, and to try to look out for those folks who are decent in my life, Now, as it happened, I rebounded, I remarried, have a beautiful family. I mean, life couldn't be better. But I still regret when I was at that crossroads making the decision that benefited me and not thinking of the effect it would have on my friend, my lifelong friend. So, when we talk about being morally superior and all these things, I'm not morally superior. I'm flawed as the rest of you. But I recognize what it means when you give your word. When you tell somebody you're going to do something. When you tell him he's your brother and you're going to be there for him, and then you leave him hanging. I left my friend to the wolves. And I'm not proud of that. And so, when these decisions come up, and I see the way others react, I know from my own experience how that will feel down the road, most likely. If you don't do right by folks, if you don't honor your word, if you don't behave like a friend, you will regret it later in life. Maybe not when you're young, but 20-some years later, you will surely regret it, as I do. All right, that was a great 3 passes. We'll come back and talk a little bit about the shave. Stay tuned. All right, so we're back with the post, and we'll get to the giveaway just in a second here. Guys, remember that. If there's one thing I can do for you, or one message I can pass along is, always beware that the decisions you make when you come to those crossroads can have lasting consequences. And I lost a lifelong friend because I looked out for me. And then I shared with you, of course, the other story where it went the other way. So, all of us have scenarios like this where we come to those places. Just try to do what you feel is right and try to be selfless when you reach those crossroads, as some call them. Anyway, magic witches here already applied. Let's get to the giveaway real quick. So, what I'm going to do here is different. Don't comment below because I'm not entering you. If you want to be included in this particular giveaway, email me. My email address is at the end of this video, tsevangelist@live.com, and I will enter you for a drawing of 2 things. One, the Shaving Shop Aqua de Florida. I just don't care for the scent on this particular soap. It's just not for me, so I'm going to give it away unused. And the Icon El Jefe head that I bought. Keep in mind, folks, if you're going to use this head, you do have to make sure that when you put it back together, that blade is aligned, all right? I'm giving that disclaimer with it. And whoever wins, I will email them and make sure they know this. But I don't use it, so I'll give this away along with the soap. So those 2 things can be, one, if you email me at tsevangelist@live.com. Just share a story with me or tell me whatever you want to say, all right? And I'll enter you for the giveaway. All right, let's get to the aftershave. Today we're using Razorock Emperor, which is really, really nice. It's also in the Creed Aventus style of scent, which is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And by the way, today I used the Above the Tie ALR again, which was magnificent once again. I really like this razor. I've gotten 3 excellent shaves from it, and because I'm used to using the R or have used the R a lot in the past, it feels very natural. It's a great shaver, so check that out at AboveTheTie.com if you are interested in that. And of course, I'll show you the soap once again. It is the Shaving Shop Success by Chris Culling. Culling. I think I called him Culling. Then I threw the cap on the floor. It's just what kind of day it is. Wonderful soap made by Chris Cullen, sold by the Shaving Shop, Peter Charcalis' shop. And last but not least, of course, our Wolf Whiskers TSE brush sent to me by Tim Berger. Thanks once again, Tim. All right, everyone. Stay tuned for the address. If you want to be considered for the giveaway, just shoot me an email. Tell me something. Tell me a story. Whatever you want, and I will put you in, and we will draw it next Sunday. All right? So thanks, everybody, for watching, and until next time, let's make America shave again.